creepy pastor. Pastor charged in as assault a woman who deemed him spiritual parent. This is sad. Because I remember back in the day when I worked with people who saw the pastor, in a sense, as the father, as their surrogate father or surrogate grandfather. I know people who would give their last. I knew people who would stay up until 12 and 1 o'clock at night doing stuff for the church, making curtains, making decorations, making floral arrangements, baking bundt cakes, getting the dinners and stuff. Yeah. So a pastor is accused of assaulting a special needs woman with whom he had a close relationship. Jorge Ariel Benavides, a 58-year-old pastor in Webb County, Texas, was arrested by the local sheriff department September the 12th. This is current as well. With aggravated assault of an elderly or disabled person. On March the 2nd, deputies responded to a call at a home in Santa Rita neighborhood of South Laredo. So this is around Laredo. Wow. Once there, they found the woman later determined to have disabilities who accused Benavides of assaulting her. The woman's disability was not known at the time of publishing. Okay. She told deputies that a month earlier, on February the 1st, the pastor picked her up to take her somewhere. The woman, whose identity has not been reported, was initially under the impression that he was taking her somewhere to go over paperwork that would allow the pastor to adopt her and to give her some money that he owed her. Wait. Hold up. She said that she thought he was taking her somewhere to go over paperwork that would allow the pastor to adopt her and to give her some money that he owed her. The two reportedly had a very close relationship with the pastor, later telling investigators that the woman considered him and his late wife to be spiritual parents. Okay, so his wife passed. The two arrived at a ranch in Las Lomas where the woman told police Benavides removed his clothes and told her to enter into a room with him. According to court documents, he then asked her to remove her clothes, which she did voluntarily out of fear of what the pastor might do. What? Well, what in the world did you think was going to happen? You removing your clothes. He then blank assaulted the woman twice, which she did not resist, fearing he would have her committed to a mental institution. I was just trying to figure out what was her handicap or what. When asked what suspect Benavides had done to cause her such fear, the woman stated she had been advised by suspect Benavides multiple times that she will be placed in a mental institution with the state because she is mental health patient, and no one will believe that a priest had raped her. That is so sad. That is sad. So he is taking advantage of her two ways. She probably on some kind of Social Security or disability check. And I wonder if this was going on when his wife was alive. Maybe it wasn't. It looked like she just mentioned February, and the wife had been deceased before then. According to the affidavit, after the incident, Benavides instructed her to get dressed and return to the car he used to bring her to the ranch. While walking to the car, the pastor urged her to pray because she was going to hell for the sin she had committed. He just like that other one. She was taken home and later told a female acquaintance about the incident. Benavides later denied the allegations while being interviewed by investigators. He said that his deceased wife had at one point been the woman's foster parent and that they had lived together for a time. He alleged that the woman threatened to make accusations against him if he did not allow her to have a relationship with other men. when you hear all that, and especially with her not being a little kid or a teen, I'm just gonna use myself as an example. No, I've never been, abused or assaulted or anything like that. It's hard, because as a woman, I want to believe the woman, because I know we have always, as women, we've been preyed upon, not preyed, but preyed upon, okay? And we knowing that a lot of these people, these men, use their positions. That's when I talked about previous stories. Check out my videos about how they used to label women as witches, witchcraft, and burn them at the stake, because these were women they could not control. These were women that they tried to abuse. These could probably be women that they did abuse, and the woman was going to out them. So what's the easiest thing to do? Label them a witch and have them burn at the cross. Okay, so here, it's officials with Adult Protective Services, and I used to work there. I worked everywhere, okay. Told investigators that the woman had a tendency of making outcries if she did not have it her way. Let me read this again. Officials, and it's basically called APS, Adult Protective Services, state agency, kind of like I think it's the same thing as where you call the intake line to report elder abuse or a person who is disabled. So they're saying that she had a tendency to make outcries if she does not have it her way, and had attention-seeking tendencies. Conversely, a woman identified in the affidavit has her current foster mother said that she had appeared distraught on the night of February the 1st and spoke of having pain around her genitals due to harsh, no children, harsh, you know what, starts with a I-N-T-E-R, you know what the rest. A S assault test later found indications of male DNA on her body, with the results later matching a DNA sample provided by Benavides. So something happened. Something definitely happened. Okay, jail records indicated that Benavides on Thursday was released from jail on bond, but they're not saying what. And I hate to say it, just seeing this, and they're not saying what kind of bond, and you got the Adult Protective Services basically saying that this woman says things to get her way, that she's attention seeking. I don't think they're going to do anything. I really think that this is going to be dropped. I don't, and who else is more suspect to abuse than an elderly person, a disabled person, especially someone who is mentally not there? Those are easy victims, targets to these predators like that. And it's her word against his word. Again, he's a pastor, he's an older man, he's an elderly man, he's a man that had a wife. They said they took care of her before the wife passed. I don't know. It's sad. Okay, former Plover, P-L-O-V-E-R, youth pastor, to be charged with child assault. History of allegations. Here's a list. Portage County, P-O-R-T-A-G-E County, Jordan Huffman, Woodlands Church youth pastor for 17 years, ending in July 2020. He's been a pastor for 17 years, and he got a wife. Second people shared experience with church leadership, February 2021. Each victim told church it was one instance of assault. Victims, teens, and student ministry program 20-25 years ago. Huffman, adult volunteer leader and student program. They always, and this is recent, August 2022, they always want to be by kids. Or if they are a Bernie Madoff, they want to be around people with money. Or if they are also out trying to seek attention or whatever. They want to be by a celebrity person, you know. This is in Wisconsin. Criminal charges have now been charged in Portage County. A former youth pastor, Jordan Huffman, 51, he looked older, is expected to be charged with 8 counts of including first-degree assault of a child, enticement, contributing to the delinquency of a child. Huffman was arrested August the 9th in Florida, where he is currently living. He left Wisconsin, now he moved, and they move around a lot. If you notice, they move around a lot, okay? He has a hearing in Florida on August the 24th. Court documents state the alleged victim said the crimes began in 2017 when the victim was 12 years old. Authorities were told Huffman was working as a youth pastor at Woodlands Church in Plover when he was contacted to mentor the victim. Basically you're saying we're going to let the coyotes or the wolves in the chicken coop. We're going to let the snakes in the dog coop or the alligators, we're going to let them out on the cows or the rabbits. Wow. The incidents were reported by the alleged victim's father in June. Court documents stated the assaults happened more than a dozen times over a 2-year span. Whew. The alleged victim stated that nothing else in nature had occurred at Woodlands Church, but that some assaults happened in Huffman's office at his next place of employment, Forest Lakes District in Stevens Point. The district is affiliated with the National Evangelical Free Church of America. EFCA is organized into districts around the country, and Woodlands Church is part of the Forest Lakes. I don't know. So this person had a father in the home. Your father is your best mentor. You people gonna get on me for saying that. And I had a relative, and I'm not gonna go into details because it is a relative, and you know I keeps it real. I am still under, people recalling stuff happened 20, 25 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. I feel like when it happened or whatever's going on, maybe because I've been labeled. I'm a broken faucet, a water faucet that's broken. That's why my show or video, whatever you call it, it's called Maria Loves to Talk. I can't keep it in me. So I don't understand how someone can keep something in them 20, 25 years. And I was sharing this with a family member, or it was a group of us chicks talking. And one of them corrected me and said, hey, you remember when we used to go to such and such school, and after you graduated and you went on to the junior high, and you used to come after you would get off and walk with me from the elementary back to the house. And you remember Principal so-and-so. And in fact, they made a whole district or a school community after this particular principal that was from our elementary. So making a long story short, she goes on and said, well, when I was waiting one day, waiting for, grandma or somebody to pick them up, sitting in the office, and the school secretary had walked out to go get something. The principal came by, I'm just going to call him Principal M. She said he touched her little, I'm going to call it a little rosebud. You know how when we girls, you just go and becoming a tween, or from 10 to 11, your little things start coming in. She said he touched it. He kind of pressed it, kind of, squeezed it, and he just walked back into his office like it was nothing. And I'm like, why you didn't tell somebody? Why you didn't tell your mama? Why you didn't tell me? Why didn't you tell cousin so-and-so? She said she just never did, just, kept it to herself. So that could be what happened with some of these people. I don't know. Okay, so that reminds me, you know your girl, right? I will go on that page or Facebook page or whatever, and I will, because it's not a rumor, it's not alleged. If you know it's the truth, and you can get the person who was involved to say, yeah, so just in case legal, somebody comes up or his great grandkids come up, well, we're going to sue you. I'm not going to sue nobody because I've got the person, I know the person, and they can be on a lie detector and admit that this is what happened to them by your pedophile principal grandpa, because I know this person was not the only person that he most likely did it. He obviously did it to other people. Okay, so moving on to this man. These churches, I'm not saying I don't believe that they don't care about the victims, but they're trying to protect themselves. They're trying to cover their assets, if you know what I mean, from lawsuits. Just keeping it real. This guy looks suspect to me in this next one. Youth pastor from St. Clair County charged with criminal-esque conduct involving 4 children. William Wahl, WAHL, facing 7 charges. He looks like a hippie. He looks almost like Charles Manson. They should have knew something was up right there. Kimball Township, Michigan, a youth pastor has been charged in connection with assault 4 kids. Deputies at St. Clair County Sheriff launched an investigation in late 2021. Said 4 victims have been linked to abuse allegations. The alleged incidents date back to 2014. The investigation report was forwarded to prosecutors for review, and Stephen Wahl, WAHL 27 of Port Huron, was taken into custody, January the 21st. Wow, 4 kids. Wahl was arraigned on 2 counts of second-degree criminal-esque conduct, 2 counts of fourth-degree criminal-esque conduct, 1 count of aggravated indecent exposure, 1 count of distributing sexually explicit visual or verbal matter to a minor, and 1 count of using a computer. Bond was set at $25,000 with no 10%. Right back, yes, you guys, right back out on the streets, because that's what's going on. They're just giving these little people a little tap and sending them back out here to abuse innocent kids, corrupt innocent kids, and they're hiding behind the church, behind the cross. You know, basically, that's what they're doing. And parents are going to have to teach their kids, educate your kids, that you've got bad people in the church. Okay, we have bad folks in the church. They're not just out on the street corner, selling drugs, at the little club, hanging out when they go to the little teenage clubs. They in church. Okay, moving on to the next pervert pastor. 66-year-old pastor arrested on child abuse charges involving a minor under 15. And this is from Upper Michigan. I don't know if it says Source News or Resource News. This is current. Authorities in North Carolina have arrested a pastor on several crime charges stemming from joint investigation. The Pitt County Sheriff Office reports their detectives, along with police from Winterville Police Department, joined forces to investigate suspected child abuse involving 66-year-old John William Lovelace earlier this year. This is from May 2022. Okay, so here they say the pastor at Faith Baptist Church in Ada, North Carolina, was charged by Winterville Police with 4 counts of second-degree forcible S and 3 counts of S battery. 66, I'm pretty sure he's been doing this a long time, and most likely got a wife. According to the Pitt County Police, Lovelace is also facing 2 counts of statutory S offense with a child under the age of 15 and indecent liberties with a minor. The 66-year-old was booked into Pitt County detention on a $12.4 million bond. Moving